you know? But because of that, the hustle mode never stopped. I always had a 9-to-5 job, but always had some type of side hustle while I was freelancing or working for other people or consulting. I'd have a job during the day and then consult in the evening. So it was always like a 9-to-5 wasn't, when you're an artist, you're kind of like a creative 24 hours. So even like the thought of having to be in an office from 9 to 5 is like, you're like, I can't do this. Because for people who are creative, you just know that your brain and your creativity doesn't run on a 9-to-5 schedule. It's just, it happens when it happens, you know? And so you can't contain it in between a certain amount of hours. So it was never an option for me to be that way and think that I couldn't do it. Like I didn't have another option. Like I'm not sure if my parents were thinking either, because they let me like get a bachelor's of fine arts not really knowing I was going to be able to take care of myself. So I'm not sure what they were thinking about that.
Anybody else? I was kind of lost. You know, I grew up in New York City, and you know, my parents sent me away to Nigeria. I came back. I was still getting into trouble, not as much as I was before I left. And I think I was like 19, and I was like veering off on the wrong path once again. And then one of my childhood best friends was like, what are you doing? Like, this isn't you need to stop whatever you're doing. And I went down to Louisiana to live with my mom just to clear my head, to get out of the space where I was comfortable. And from there, that's what started pushing me into finding out who I was, just getting outside of my comfort zone. I wanted to be a rapper when I was younger. I was pretty good, don't matter. I wanted to be an actor. I managed an artist. I was trying to do everything. And at one point, I was doing shows in New York, but cooking at the shows to get people to come to the shows. And I was walking around, so I was walking around Soho, and there was a store, and I walked in, and I was talking to the sales associate, and I was like, oh, the store just opened. She was like, yeah. She happened to be the owner, and she's like, I'm looking for a caterer to do my launching party. And my mom's a caterer, you know, I catered a couple times with her, and I was like, I'm a caterer. She was like, do you know how to make cheesecake? I was like, man, please don't disrespect me, okay? I just told you I'm a caterer, what do you need? She's like, all right, let's do a tasting tomorrow morning. So I came up with this menu. I stayed up all night trying to make a cheesecake. I never made it my entire life. So I was up all night trying to make a cheesecake, and it was like 5 o'clock in the morning. That's when like the city starts to come alive. You hear the buses, like, you know, coming more frequently because they don't come as much, you know, in between that time. And you hear all the school kids going to school, and there was no music playing. There was nothing happening. It was just me and like 1,000 dishes and batter everywhere on the walls. And at that point in time, I was like, I found my passion, because I didn't care about texting, I didn't care about music, I didn't care about anything but figuring out how to fucking perfect this cheesecake. And I went out to do the event, and I became like the official caterer of the store. And at that point, I stopped rapping, I stopped managing my friends. I bought myself some fucking candy, and I got in a train, and I started selling candy. So that's how that came for me. You know, it wasn't like very easy, but once I found out something that I really, really loved, I went with that all the way.